Hi, I just wanted to come on here to talk about North Texas Giving Day and the agency that I work for, which is the Turning Point Rape Crisis Center. We serve North Texas. We are a nonprofit, and so we offer all of our services free to our clients. So I just wanted to come on here and give a little tidbit about the stuff that we do, just so that you have an idea of what you might be helping out with and donating. So first and foremost, I have the honor of being on our clinical team. And so we have a group of several staff therapists that are all specialized in working with sexual trauma. We do eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, which is a bottom-up trauma modality. If you're not familiar with it and you do have a history of trauma, I would recommend looking into that. There are all kinds of different healing methods, but this is one of the ones that we use at the Turning Point. We also have several student interns and LPC associates, LCSWs. We have lots of learning that goes on within our clinical program. We are constantly learning and growing and evolving and finding out the next thing that will really, really help us to help survivors in their healing. I've been working at the Turning Point for about 2.5 years. And in my time there, it has, one, been absolutely amazing. I love my job. I love my position. I love my team. And I just love this agency and what it has grown into. It's been absolutely wonderful to be a part of. So what I have seen in the last couple of years is, and what I've realized is that we can and should reach a lot more people than we do. There are so many people out there who have a history of sexual trauma, even chronic sexual trauma. A lot of our clients will have years and years and years of trauma, and another clients will have, a one-time single event of trauma. But either way, there are so many people out there who are living with this trauma and not getting the help that they need, whether it's because they don't feel like professionals out there are competent enough, or they don't feel open enough to be able to talk about this with anybody else, or just the general taboo that is around sexual assault and sexual violence, because many survivors carry the burden of that pain. It is not the perpetrators, it is the survivors that carry that pain throughout their lives. So what I know is that there is a general huge uprising of warriors who do want to tackle this issue of sexual assault. Now more than ever, we are aware of it. We are fighting for change. We have survivors going up against the Supreme Court and saying, we demand better. And we have all of the clients that come into the Turning Point are also these warriors who want to fight for body autonomy, for safety, for equality, to end rape culture, and to be able to provide healing for those people who have been through this kind of trauma. So I have seen that as far as clients go, we really could be helping a lot more people. We know that the very small fraction of people that we do see coming into our office is that just a very small fraction, that even though we are extremely, extremely grateful to help the amount of people that we do, that it just really is never enough. We don't have enough time, staff, funding, all of that kind of stuff that really match up with the mission and the cause, and what really needs to be done and what needs to expand and grow. So if we had more funding, that means we could have more rooms, we could have more counselors, we could have more training for those counselors on trauma-informed care, and those more bottom-up rapid techniques like EMDR and other techniques. We would also be able to expand our program to do more alternative methods of healing, like yoga and self-defense and drum circles and healing rooms, dancing, emotion release, to offer all of these other support groups and other ways of supporting survivors, as well as individual therapy and advocacy. And we also do group therapy. And so we have those, but we also have this very, very eager energy to expand into many different areas, because we know how much this stuff would benefit survivors all over North Texas, and we hope to actually make our mission something that goes a bit further than that, to really impact the rest of the state, the rest of the South, the rest of the nation. We really are fighting to make a huge difference in this society, and one that has been needed to be addressed for years and years and years. And I know many people have addressed it in different ways, but we are on fire and we are in the fight. And so that funding will go towards nothing but extremely useful things to help people heal. We don't want to keep people there who aren't getting better. We don't want to keep people in therapy. We are a nonprofit. And so really, we are there to show up and provide the space for healing, provide the tools for healing, to meet each of our clients wherever they are in that moment and see what do they need and how can we get there. So on top of that, on top of our clinical team, which I love and adore, we have our whole team of staff advocates and volunteer advocates. And so these advocates, we are all advocates. So even the counselors, the admin staff, everyone is an advocate. So we are all trained when we are first hired to get to be able to man the hotlines. We have a 24/7 hotline that each advocate will take a shift, whether it's a volunteer advocate or a staff advocate, will take a shift overnight that survivors can call and get resources, can get crisis intervention, can get further information about any of our services or anything like that, referrals or anything. And so we also do advocacy alongside our sexual assault nurse examiners to provide, to do the evidence gathering in the exam post sexual assault. And so we provide not only extremely trained, sensitive, trauma-informed nurses who now we're actually being able to provide a space that nurses who want to become specialized in this actually have a clinic that they can go and train in. And so we are now offering that in a way that we want to expand the sexual assault examiner nurses into the general society, so that maybe we can have more actually at hospitals, so that whenever someone comes in for a sexual assault exam, that they don't have to wait for several hours, or they don't have to go in and have someone tell them that, oh, we don't do that here, or, we're going to have to wait, several hours. Usually our nurses, unless they are wrapped up in another exam and cannot get there immediately, will go out to the hospitals and meet that survivor there to provide the most trauma-informed care. And the advocate will meet them out there and bring lots of information. We bring clothes bundles and information bundles about victims' rights, about resources. And so whether it's 2 in the afternoon or 2 in the morning, we are there to answer the phone. Our nurses are always there to answer and provide that care for survivors. So what a great program that we have. We constantly have trainings, so we have about 3 or 4 a year. And we like to just gather and invite anybody who wants to be a part of this team to try out our volunteer system. Whether you have done this before or not, we offer, again, the full training. And this can be another way that, again, if you don't have the means to donate, which, you know, many people don't, but if you yourself, or if you know anybody who would like to volunteer and to provide support, immediate support to survivors of sexual violence, our agency can provide a wonderful platform to do that on. And we welcome anybody. Again, we know those warriors are out there. We know they're out there. And so it's just a matter of us finding them and having them join the fight with us, right here on the, right here on the ground. Another one of our programs that we have is education. And our education department, we go out into the community. And so before COVID, this looked a lot like us going into schools. So middle schools, even elementary schools, high schools, going in there and talking to kids about sexual assault, body boundaries, appropriate touch, coercion, consent, and really providing material so that they can really learn this stuff and be able to say, that doesn't feel right, or this doesn't feel right, or maybe that was wrong. So we are going into, we were going into schools, and we've done a lot virtually since COVID hit, and we plan to go back into schools as safety and COVID might allow us. We want to make sure everybody is safe in doing that. But we've also done a lot of webinars and things, just ways of being online and trying to provide information to the community. It's something that's really important to us because we know that a lot of this pain, a lot of this trauma and the sexual assault is perpetuated by people not knowing about it, by not addressing that it is an actual huge real problem. And you may see it in the news and be devastated by it, but just, you know, also recognize that this stuff is right here. It is the person that you know who is bubbly and friendly and maybe is even really succeeding, but has this huge burden within them of carrying the pain of something that they didn't choose to happen to them, you know, even years or decades before. Trauma lives in the body, and it is something that does not just go away. Sometimes we can heal it in different ways, but a lot of times healing is very intentional. And so we need to, our first and foremost is get all of that information out into the environment to help kids think about this stuff, to help them be able to, you know, see what is going on and name what is going on, and understand, you know, things that are very important about consent and coercion that kids just are not getting the appropriate education about. And so that is one of our main, you know, grassroots kind of thing, is that we are out in the community and we are trying to just give all this information, as with our clients and our advocates, whether they, you know, have been here for a long time or not. We are constantly learning, constantly growing. We are constantly trying to figure out ways that we can make this huge problem any smaller, because people are suffering. They are suffering in silence, and they deserve a lot more than what they have gotten from this world. You know, they are wonderful, amazing human beings that could just as equally be the giant fighters for your freedom or your rights or, you know, your well-being. That all of this stuff is so intricately intertwined that we, you know, we are dedicated to helping people heal. And that is on an individual level, a group level, a society level, North Texas level, that we need support as an agency as well from the community. You know, as there are many different opinions about the work that we do, and you know, and so that a lot of times comes into our funding and those kind of things. And so we just really want to provide a way for people who are on the outside, who want to make a difference and who want to give back, that you can donate on North Texas Giving Day to the Turning Point Rape Crisis Center. We have our own page on North Texas Giving Day, which you can already donate, or you can go, I believe, and do it on Thursday, the 23rd, which is in 2 days. And, you know, again, if you cannot donate, I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, maybe going to look at the statistics of sexual assault, and look up EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing, and how effective, how useful it really can be. And if we can just get more and more people trained in this, focused on sexual assault and other alternative modes of healing, then we could do a lot of good in this world. As well, again, if you would like to volunteer in any way, whether it's to be an advocate or it's to do anything else volunteer-wise for our agency and for survivors, please reach out to us, because we are always interested in expanding our reach and bringing in other people who can join our mission. And so thank you so much. And thank you to the wonderful leadership team that we have at the Turning Point, our great clinical team, our sexual assault nurse team, as well as all of our staff and paid advocates. Wendy Handa is our executive director, and she's been absolutely amazing through all of these years. We have Heather, who is a senior director of programs. We have Randy, who looks over all of our IT stuff, and we do a lot of that. And he's just always the one that holds a lot of our stuff together, as well as Stephen in finance. He's really allowed us to be where we are at with our finances, even though things could always be better as far as getting more funding. But he has been an absolute amazing asset to our agency. And so thank you for watching this video. Shout out to all of our leadership team, all of our staff, all of our advocates. Everyone is just doing such an amazing job. So thank you so much. And if you want to donate, please go to North Texas Giving Day and search for the Turning Point. Again, we are a nonprofit organization and are just trying to get our word out and get our mission out into the community. So thank you.